What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today was supposed to be a video on how to get your exotic class items, but I am stupid and did nothing right yesterday, so now you guys are getting a video on the Call Sidearm. It is another rocket-assisted frame, just like the Indebted Kindness, that good old arc sidearm like this from the Warlord's Ruined Dungeon. This time it is strand in our kinetic slot, so has some alternate options for you, as well as a new old origin perk from the beautiful Pale Heart weapons. So to start us out with that origin trait, we got Dealer's Choice. Final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of super energy. Equipping multiple weapons increases this effect. So nice little origin trait. Nothing too crazy. The super energy isn't that noticeable in my opinion, but we got some fun rolls for PvE, PvP for you guys, so we'll go over both of those. Hopefully y'all can grab this, craft it if you want. It's a very average weapon in my personal opinion. The Indebted is way better because of Volt Shot, but this thing can have some pretty fun little things. I just don't think it is nearly as good. So starting us off, because I am a piece of shit, we're gonna be doing the rocket assisted frame for PvE. I went with Blast Radius. Not sure if this is the right choice, but felt right to me with 66 in that blast radius now. But you could go with other things depending on how you're feeling. You got your reload, handling, velocity, range, and stability. Don't really think stability is the play, but reload might be the way to go if you would like. As for our first column, I personally went with Volatile Launch on this. Gave us the biggest blast radius, as well as that projectile speed going down slightly, but that is okay, because if you went with something like Quick Launch right here, you lose about 15 in that explosion blast radius size, but we get a nice jump in velocity. So I don't really know which one's better. I like having a higher blast radius on this so I can hit more enemies, do a little bit more damage, I feel like, on that splash, at least from the rocket, not just hitting the target directly, but those little ones surrounding it. I could hit the ground next to them as well, so that's why I went with Volatile Launch. Now right here for our magazine, usually you'll see me go appended or tactical, and you can see we are getting a few more shots inside of the magazine, but we are losing a lot of that blast radius as well as that velocity. As well as on this, I do have a mod for the backups mod, so that's where we're getting 12 in the magazine to start out. If I didn't have it, this would only give us 12, and then these two would bring us up to about that 12 range instead of 9 like it would be with high explosive ordnance. But then again, totally up to you. Now for me, for PvE, first option was Demo right here. We get that grenade energy back on those defeats, plus we can reload this bad boy by throwing a grenade, so I personally really like that on these weapons. Felt very good in my personal opinion. Second on the list is Stats for All. Hitting 3 separate targets gives us increased handling, stability, range, reload for an improved duration. Just a very good perk, especially when we pair it with one of those in the fourth column that has the same hit 3 separate targets with 1 for all. So this would be another option for y'all. People really like Lead from Gold on this, so you can have that heavy ammo scout and finder on while getting heavy for yourself as well as your fellow guardians while still filling this up. I personally don't mind it, but not my first choice. I would rather go with Demo, but I know people are gonna yell at me for that, so Lead for Gold is, I think, what most people use and like, but I personally like Demo more. And then you do got Slice and Beacon as your backups, but I don't know if you totally need these on this one. Beacon, if you can't shoot, throw it on there so you get the tracking, but again, Demo's my first choice. Fourth column for PvE, 1 for All. Hitting 3 separate targets increases damage for an improved duration. This is where we're getting that damage buff. Like if we had the Stats for All on as well, we got 1 for All, Stats for All, hitting those 3 separate targets targets, gives us damage plus all the increases from that. So I really like One for All as my main go-to for this slot here. If you're looking for some more strand synergy on it, you could go with something like Golden Tricorn, so those final blows grant bonus or damage for an improved duration. While this effective, we have grenade and melee final blows of the same damage type, greatly increases the damage for those. So our strand grenade as melee is going to go up in damage. And then also synergy wise, hatchling, precision hits, or those rapidly defeating targets, grants us threadlings at the target's location, so improves handling on this as well. Not that that really matters in my opinion for PvE as much as it does for PvP, but strand synergy, go with hatchling or your Golden Tricorn, but I really think that your best bet is One for All in this category for PvE, so I would go with One for All and Demo, or like One for All and Stats for All. But like I said, a lot of people use Lead for Gold, so you can get that ammo economy for both of those weapons. Alright, as for the PvP side of things, in my opinion, taking it into the match that I was in, the gameplay, don't even watch it because it is atrocious. I don't know if I was just in a bad mood or something, but I couldn't hit anything. This thing, it definitely did not feel nearly as good as the Indebted inside of PvP even, so don't know why that is. Maybe it's the beacon round aspects and I just suck and I can't shoot, but I wouldn't really recommend this for the PvP realm at all. Definitely is in like the 1.8 2.0 range. It definitely sucks compared to PvE. But for your little enhanced trait, I would go with Blast Radius again, because you're still trying to hit those enemies as hard as you possibly can. If you want, go with range or something like that. Maybe that's the issue, it's just not touching them at that little bit longer distance, but I like using it up close and personal anyways, since it seems like that's the case, and I just feel like it hits more often even with Indebted Kindness. Now we're gonna go with Counter Mass right here for our barrel. Nothing else really fit right in my opinion. Gives us the highest in that handling stability, and recoil gives us at 100, so this thing feels very crispy, at least in the bounce, which might help as well. I totally went with the same thing with high explosive ordnance. Again, it takes us down so low, all the way down to like 40-39 in that blast radius, so don't really like that at all. I like having it at that 51, so I kept the explosive ordnance right here. Now in our third column, I really don't think there's many good ones in this column. First choice I went with is Slice, so casting your class ability allows for this weapon to sever targets, and it is an interesting thing. Definitely in sixes you can get a lot of sever going on, gives some nice multi defeats, but again, totally up to you. Not a crazy gun for the PvP realm. Your other option is the beacon rounds. I don't know if this will actually be good or not, but final blows grant you that projectile tracking for an improved duration. Feels more better inside of the PvE realm because it's easier to get defeats. Like I said, this thing kind of sucks, and your ammo economy is limited anyway, so it's not like you're getting multiple defeats anyways to get a bunch of beacon rounds procced. Now last but not least, I guess you could go with Vorpal in this column, or one other one, but again, nothing too crazy because it's multi-kill clip stats for all. A lot of these are PvE perks, but Vorpal, we're doing a little bit more damage against those guardians in their super. And then as well, your other option, I guess you could go with Desperate Measures, so final blows gives you some stack and damage. Melee final blows and grenade final blows grant larger damage bonus that stacks, so it's also a very good option for PvP, but this thing definitely sucks in my opinion for PvP. I wouldn't take it in there. Like I said, giving this about a 1.8 to 2 for the PvP realm. Now when we take it into PvE, I would give it maybe a little bit higher, like 3.5, 3.6, maybe. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, Indebted Kindness blows this out of the water. I thought it was going to be a lot better, but it's definitely not. So gonna go with a very average weapon for the Pale Heart, but I'm excited to see what happens when we pair a lot of these together, and maybe I'm missing out on something, so you guys gotta let me know what combos you have. If y'all like these new weapons from the Pale Heart with the old Dealer's Choice as our origin trait. So lots to cover. Sorry I didn't get that class item video out. Like I said, I was a dumb, so no worries there, but it might come out later this week. But if you ain't first, you're last, as Ricky Bobby said, so pretty much ruined my chances on that. So hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.